even when they have a basically blank check and do whatever they want, try to do the best job that they can, they can't actually make it work right. So my view is, what makes you think it's going to work right in an earthquake or a tsunami? It's not. It's going to be a big problem. It just demonstrates how complex these things are that they're working with. And not that I don't think that I do think they were trying to surreptitiously upgrade the plant as Friends of the Earth is submitting their petition. And so I think that, yeah, they tried to upgrade this plant and put it on the backs of the ratepayers instead of the shareholders, for one, and then get another 31,000 new homes of energy out of it at the risk of this sort of a problem. So they push the envelope, and what we see is when they push the envelope for profit, you end up with unsafe conditions. But unfortunately, this whole industry the envelope has been pushed time and time again. And we believe that now's the time to shut the plant down and cut our losses. Because what can they do now? If they actually try to repair this, we're going to have to probably replace the steam generators. That was $670 million the first time around. And do we think they can get it right this time? Well, they say, well, if we go back to the original design, then it'll work. My view is, I don't want to pay anything more for these really expensive plants. And if the analysis is that nuclear energy is not any kind of an economic boon, it's costly. It's not green at all. All the way through the mining, all the way through the purification of uranium, is extremely carbon intensive and polluting all the way down the line. So we can spend our money better. We can spend it for other things that are going to be. I think the renewable infrastructure is the way we got to go. We got to start putting solar panels on all these homes that I see around here. I don't see a one with solar panels on. Take that money that we're about to spend on this nuclear reactor and encourage people to upgrade their homes with energy. You know what? In an earthquake, those solar panels will do just fine. They're going to continue operating and give people the power. Whereas this type of big plant will have to be shut down in any kind of an earthquake threat. We're not going to have the energy. And they always have to back these up. They always have to back them up with coal or oil. In this area is natural gas and oil burning plants. So you really have to have an overabundance of power because of all the outages that these nuclear reactors have anyway. That's why we're not experiencing any outage now, because they really don't rely upon these plants for our power. They like to use them because they can save money, I guess. But if they had to pay for the risks, they had that 1957 ruling that said that they didn't have to take on any more risks than $20 billion, which is far less than anything that's going to happen. So the public takes the risk, and the public now is saying the risk is too high. I think this is where we are. This is the first step. I don't think the NRC is going to say very much today. They're only partway through their investigation. They didn't actually provide their report to the public ahead of time so we could study it, so it's more like a pop quiz instead of a take-home test. And probably the energy company is going to say, oh, well, we just got this ourselves, so we're not going to be able to comment on it. So, that's probably what's going to happen today, is we're not going to hear much from the energy companies. Craven, CEO of Edison, could shut it down right with a single comment. It's up to him, really. He has to say if it's going to be continuing or not. So I like to put him on the spot. CEO Craven of Edison is the guy who's going to make the call. He already said it's my call, and it's the biggest call I've ever had in my life, whether I keep this plant going or not. He could save all the ratepayers' money by just saying, let's pull the plug on this thing. And they did it for the Rancho Seco power plant in California. That was the third power plant that they had. And the guy that is in charge of the power said it was the best thing they ever did, was to get rid of that plant. It saved so much headaches. And they're doing just fine. In fact, they have one of the best economic situations in that district. The power companies are off course. They are not working in the interest of the public anymore. Their interest only for their personal profit. They don't care about safety. The profit is the most dominant factor. Profit, and that's it. But any specific question you have?
Nope,
I talk enough.
I'm going to be taking pictures, so.
Okay, cool. Yeah, well, we got the grassroots out here. We got the public interested in all this, and I think that's key to any kind of success story, is to get the public involved, make sure that they understand that it's really their call. They're in control of this thing in theory, in theory. But is it? And to make it real, we actually have to take advantage of the situation and try to do what's right. Do you have a card like that?